You can get your Friday the 13th figures at Big Bad Toy Store at the link in the description down below. Pokemon, Kaiju, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It's Steven here, and happy Friday the 13th to you. I can't think of a better review on Freddy Krueger Day, September 13th, than a review of the Freddy vs. Jason Voorhees figure from NECA. Now, if some sources say Freddy Krueger Day is the 12th, but Freddy's Dead came out on the 13th. So anyway, this is, for the time being, going to be the only Freddy vs. Jason figure that we get. And with that in mind, did NECA make this the absolute best figure they possibly could? Or, well, better luck next time? Let's take a look to see whether or not Jason is worth adding to your collection. Whether you like or hate the design, you have to give it to NECA. They made a unique sculpt for this Jason figure. Of course, somebody is going to probably say they reused something here or there, but using the new Ultimate format here, Jason is looking pretty great. And I do have to say, usually I am going to find a quality control issue in terms of the sculpt or the paint. Here, realistically speaking, I don't have anything wrong with Jason. That is not to say this is quality control issue free. We'll go ahead and talk about that later. But when it comes down to the looks, Jason is fantastic. Now, naturally, you know, Jason is going to pretty much always going to wear that hockey mask. So here's his unmasked head. So this way you can take a look at it. And it's pretty gruesome. Yeah, I actually don't like this particular unmasked head for Jason. I'd much prefer another one, but yeah. They even have that nice little tuft of hair on the back of his head. So let's go ahead and get that mask back on Jason. And here's the default mask, the sort of vanilla mask that Jason comes with. Yeah, that looks much better. Yeah. So throughout the rest of the figure, he obviously is going to look great with different browns and even some beiges used on his jacket. The undershirt is going to look great as well, or the two of them that are going to be there. It is all clearly defined. Then we have well-defined pant details on this figure. NECA went all out, including accurate platform shoes to make sure that this Jason is going to stand really, really tall on your shelf. Like it or hate it, they included him. So, all in all, in terms of details, this Jason does look pretty cool. All right, let's talk about Jason's articulation. And if you own any of the other Jason figures from NECA, you pretty much know what you're going to be getting into here. But if you saw my Instagram video on this guy when I got him, and you are following me on Instagram, right? Yeah, it's Steven's Toy Reviews. Yeah, I bet you are. You'll notice that this Jason in particular has an action feature. He can do the stanky leg. Yeah, he can do the stanky leg. Anyway, what do we have? Well, for some of you, you may know that Jason's head usually plugs into a peg, and that peg has a lot of movement for a ball joint. Usually, the head plugs into the neck. Well, the neck here actually plugs into the body, so that may not seem like a big deal for a lot of folks, but for those of you who are really particular about your points of articulation, just keep this in mind. The point of articulation is going to be not at the connection where the head plugs into the neck, help if I move my hand so you could see, but where the neck plugs into the body. So that does restrict the movement ever so slightly, and for some reason now I'm noticing his arms are moving as well, so that makes me wonder how this is all engineered. But anyway, yeah, so we can't look up as far or down as far, but still Jason can look around in all sorts of directions very, very well. So for the shoulders, he does have swivels and hinges. Hinge up and down, in and out, and swivel around like so. For the elbows, same style articulation that you know and maybe don't like. So we have an elbow swivel and a hinge. So range of movement is about that much. So for the wrists, we are looking at ball joint movement for both left and right, which is good. Really, the splayed hand has some good movement. The hand to hold the machete, good movement as well. We do have a ball jointed waist, so we can move Jason around. It feels like we have a torso ab crunch as well, but I can't lay eyes on it. But as you can see here, Jason can move pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and say that there's probably a joint in there too. So that's good. So we do have swivels and hinges, which the hinges on mine are, oh, yeah, you can hear that pop. That's about as far out as his leg wants to go on mine before it really starts popping. And that's about as comfortable as I am moving it. So yes, so where the hips plug into the thighs, we do also have swivels. We do have swivels at the knee along with a hinge about that far. And then for the ankles, we do have swivels moving forward and back, and then they plug into the feet on a peg, so we do get a little bit of ankle rocker movement as well. So overall for articulation, NECA really should think about upgrading the articulation, particularly in the elbow joints, so we finally bring Jason into the modern era with double hinge elbows. But other than that, you can get Jason into some fun poses. Just that if he's got a stanky leg like mine does, he's not going to be able to stand too well. But other than that, Jason's pretty cool. Now it's time to talk about accessories, and this is an issue that I kind of have with all of the Jason figures NECA has made. Yes, we do get an abundance of hockey masks. We get 2 machetes, one of them that's going to be bloody. We get a flame effect, and we get a teddy bear. What's the issue that I have? Well, we'll explore that in a second. So for the hockey masks that Jason gets, yes, he does have the default vanilla one, but he does also get one that's all chopped up and scarred. And then we have the bloody one when Freddy Krueger stuck his fingers of that razor clawed hand of his right into Jason's eyes. Ouch. Yeah. Now, what's really cool about these 2 other hockey masks that Jason gets, you can actually see there's digitized printing on them, which is really interesting if you're into those sort of details. Jason also does come with that teddy bear, and regardless if this is super plot significant, Jason struggles to hold this. So, cool. I mean, it might be a good accessory for another figure. Yeah. So Jason does also come with 2 machetes. He's going to come with one that is clean, that has some fantastic detail to it. Really, it's great. It does look like it's been through a couple of bodies already, but there's also the bloody one. So it's not going to be clean. It's going to be pretty gritty. Then we obviously do have the bloody one, which looks like Jason just had a fresh kill. There is also the flame effect, which looks fantastic as well. Now, here's an issue. The bloody machete actually has a thinner sculpt than the normal one. So if you want a flaming bloody machete, good luck getting Jason to stabilize that, because it's just gonna fall off. So yes, NECA won't touch Jeepers Creepers because someone associated with that in the creation of that, let me be clear there, is a pedo, but a flaming bloody machete? No, we can't do that. That's just a little too much. Come on, NECA. We all want a flaming bloody machete. Let's go ahead and actually do that. Come on. Yeah, that's a bummer. Anyway, the biggest issue that I have with some of these Jason figures that NECA makes is that they don't really include any hands. So for Jason's left hand, he's going to have that sort of splayed hand that's intended to hold the teddy bear, which he really can't hold. And then for the right hand, he's going to be holding the machete. It's going to be the somewhat fist with the hole in it so he can hold the machete. So what happens for the right hand when you don't want him to hold the machete? He's just going to kind of be standing there acting like he's going to hold it. What about the left hand? Maybe you want him to hold the machete in that. We don't have a whole lot of customization options there. So realistically speaking, yes, it's cool they added the masks because that's super easy to just repaint, but maybe we could have lost one, added an extra hand, maybe a splayed right hand or a fist for the left. I don't know. But overall, the accessories are bare minimum good. And of course, you can always get more effect parts. Now we're going to go ahead and move on over to a size comparison, so this way you can see how tall Jason is alongside some other figures you just might have. And I threw in the first Ultimate Freddy Krueger, so this way, you know, if you got to pair Jason up with a Freddy, because we're not going to get a Freddy versus Jason Freddy for a while, here you go. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Jason looks fantastic, but unfortunately mine has a quality control issue with the hips, and yeah, he can do the stanky leg. The accessories, pretty much they're good, but the fact that he doesn't come with any extra hands and the teddy bear is kind of you know, it's okay. Overall, for about $30, this version of Jason is pretty cool, and to be honest with you, the default that I have for this one is just going to be the vanilla hockey mask with the flaming machete posed in a way that Jason is ready to strike. If you're a fan of Freddy vs. Jason, or you just like Friday the 13th merchandise in general, this is absolutely going to be one to pick up to put on your shelf. You can't really go wrong with this purchase, just, you know, extra hands and maybe double jointed elbows at some point. I think we'll get there one day. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.